What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of Game Time at the Movies. I'm Robert Palace, alongside my co-host, Abraham Trevino. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Not much, buddy. We're almost at the end of September, which is shocking to say. I mean, usually September, for me anyways, because, working at the theaters is usually around the time where it's super slow.
Yeah.
So it takes forever to go through. But there's been a lot of stuff going on, so... And we're going to head straight into October, and then the rest of the year, we got a lot of stuff to watch, to check out. There's just so much stuff. Wrestling coming to San Antonio in October. We talked about this.
Yes.
We're going to go check out a double taping of All Elite Wrestling, which is going to be at the Boeing. I don't know how you pronounce it. Boeing Techport Arena, which I've never been to here in San Antonio. So. It's a small venue, which is where AEW kind of does their shows now. They've kind of shrunk an audience. They used to do stuff at the Frostbank Center, the Freeman, but right now they're not too hot, like popular. Obviously WWE is the biggest game in town, but that's coming up in the middle of October, right, a little bit right after our birthdays. So, looking forward to that, and then of course. Christmas, Thanksgiving, there's just a bunch of stuff, and football's going to be in full swing, but I'm doing good.
Nice. Yeah.
I heard you had a cold open for us this week, so I'm curious to see what that is.
I actually do. So I don't know if this has happened to you. Maybe it has. Maybe it's happened to everyone out there. But the other day I was at the Dollar Tree, and I was getting some stuff there. And I was going to the canned good aisles because I like raviolis, and it's
love it. What's your favorite?
Beefaroni.
Same.
Yes, that's why we're BFFs.
That's why we're Bruce Wayne.
Yes, exactly. And so I was on my way, and as I'm on my way, this little lady, nice little lady, comes up to me, and keep in mind I was wearing a green polo and black slacks with black shoes, and she comes around the corner. She goes, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And I thought she was going to tell me to get something. She goes, "What aisle is the mothballs on?"
Oh, she thought you worked
she
there.
Thought I worked there, and I said, "I'm looking," and I said, "Ma'am, I don't work here." I said, "I don't know where they're at." And so, she was like, "I'm so sorry. You had the green shirt on and the green polo." And I said, "Oh, damn." So I don't know. I thought it was funny. I mean, I went and I helped her look for the mothballs, but.
Were you insulted, or were you like that, you have someone that came to you to ask for help?
Yeah, they asked for help. I mean, and we gotta help the elderly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nice little old lady.
I had a similar situation now that you bring that up. So I was at the movie exchange on I-10 and Colonnade. I was on I don't know if you checked out my Instagram, but I was on a Robert Redford hunt.
Yes.
He passed away. I know we didn't get to talk about that here.
Right.
Just huge icon that we lost in the film industry. So I was looking for some of his movies. Thankfully, I found everything that I wanted. A lot of unknown, more of the older stuff, which I'm still waiting to check out. But anyways, as it pertains to your same story, you were asked for help. Me, I stuck my nose in it. So there was an elderly gentleman that walks into the store, and he talks loud. He's old, so I get it. But then I like the people watching over here just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And he goes to the guy, "Hey, where are your Robert Redford movies?" And if you've been inside that store, like everything's all over the place,
Yes.
And the worker's kind of like, "Well, you're just going to have to look." And, me just we've been in the customer service industry. Like I'm wired to help people like that. And if it's movies, of course I want to help more.
Yeah.
So the guy wasn't really helping him out as much. And then the guy's walking around. I'm like, "Well, sir, what do you got? Do you got Blu-ray? Do you got DVD?" He's like, "I got a DVD player." "Okay, cool. What movies are you looking for?" I'm looking for Robert Redford stuff too, so I don't mind helping you out. Is there anything particular? I started naming all these different movies. He's like, "No, I've got this. What about this?" And I was like, "Okay, let's go look." And he's like, "Oh man, you know your stuff." I'm like, "Dude, it's like I hunt this stuff. Like I love it. I collect it. So yeah, I'm more than happy to help you." The worker there looked kind of annoyed that I was helping him a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Dude, I mean, that was just a fun little story, and it just connected to you to your story, and Gotta help the elderly.
Gotta help them out. Hey, man, it doesn't, like, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but it doesn't pay to be a jerk or an ass. So, man, just help them out, man. Like
even the worker, was just like, kind of like, dude, that's your job. Like, that's your whole job. So I was happy to help him out, and kind of made me think, man, I would thrive in a store like that.
Yeah, you would outshine. So yeah, that's my cold take.
Cool. So what do we got today, Abe? A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we got some stuff going on. We have a guest finally. I know I asked you last week and you said, "Hey man, you bring
all
it."
For it. All for it.
So, folks, it's good when you have a co-host like that, when you have a partner like that, where it's just like go with the flow. Anyway, so we have, real quick, we'll go over baseball. Nothing too crazy because it's not October just yet. College, the games to watch pretty much. Robert, your Belichick watch, we'll go over that.
What are they, 1-2?
No, they are 2-2. But
also, they've won 2 games.
Yes.
Oh, so, man, we're that deep into it already.
Yeah, we're already deep into that. We can go over that a little bit. We don't talk, but it's just your Belichick, but it's your boy. Mm-hmm. Then we've got football, of course. We've got the Micah. This has been everything. I saw it on First Take this morning, and First Things First and everything. So this is the Micah return. The guest that we have on, we'll go over that, and then we'll go over the slate of games that are due for that week, or week, what is it, week?
We're on week 4, baby.
Damn. Week 4 in the NFL. And then after that, we'll end the call in, and we've got our movie. We watched
movie of the week.
Yes.
Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, which stars Margot, Robbie, Colin, Farrell. We'll talk about that at the end.
I'm going to say something now, and then when we go into the review, we go into the
little appetizer.
Review. Yes, like movies like that. It's they call it like a chick flick or whatever, or rom-com. It was such a great movie. Like, I enjoyed it. And I remember I told you last night.
That's
I had
not an appetizer. You're getting into it.
Well, I know, but the appetizer is I love it, and I want to watch it again. And I know you won't watch it again, but I'll watch it again.
How do you know I won't watch it again?
I know you. I've known you for 5 years.
I've got a lot of thoughts on that movie. A lot of good stuff.
Okay, then I guess we'll deep dive into that later on.
For sure. Okay, I'm really looking forward to the conversation about this movie. Probably more than anything that we've seen so far. We saw Conjuring, okay, whatever. That's your scare of the week.
Right.
Really wish you would have seen The Long Walk. That was another one we could have really deep dived into.
Let me ask you something. I have to look at something in our schedule, of course. If I get the tickets, would you mind watching that again?
Big, Bold, Beautiful?
No. The Long Walk.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
yeah, that's something I do want to revisit.
Okay. Well, we have plans for movies. We'll get into that later on into the show. But first things first, baseball, like I said, Rangers are out. They just lost the last 7 games, so they're out of playoff contention. Astros look like they're going to be in it. So as we get, like I said just a little while ago, as we get into October, the hunt for what is it they call it? The hunt for October. As soon as we get into that, we'll have more in depth of the teams that are there, like the ALDS, I believe it is, and the NLDS, right. And we'll go into that. But that's it for our baseball news right now. College, our alma maters are off this week. You're Michigan and my Texas.
They're not playing.
They're not playing this weekend. They're off. It's a bye.
So I didn't know college had bye. Yeah. That's something new for me to learn.
Yeah, they had a bye.
Okay.
Number 4 LSU versus Lane Kiffin's 4-0 Ole Miss. The Kiffins, great. That's a game to watch. Next one is number 6 Oregon at number 3 Penn State. Both of these, Oregon's 4-0, Penn State's 3-0. Another game to watch is the number 17 Alabama at Georgia, number 3, and that's going to be a good game to watch. And then, as we were just talking about the Belichick watch, Clemson, this will be a good game. Clemson versus North Carolina, and they're going to be at North Carolina.
They're probably going to get squashed, no? Based on how they've played, or at least the one game we saw together.
Yeah, that one game, I think it was just jitters, but they're 2-2.
Interesting. Shout out to my cousin Courtney in Tampa, Florida. So you mentioned UCF that squashed them.
Yes.
So she was posting about that. Good for her. I didn't want to give her any shit, but I have nothing to say, right?
I want to ask you. North Carolina, if they were 0-4, you think maybe it's just it's the first year, right?
You had what 70 plus new players. You got to gel, and the media, man, are just quick to
dismiss,
just act like you were nothing. Dude, Bill Belichick won 6 or 7 Super Bowls, however how many, as an assistant and a head coach. He's one of the best coaches, if not greatest coach ever. And the media just so quickly wants to dismiss him as if it was just only Tom Brady. And, I hate that. I'm a big Tom Brady supporter, but even Brady will say it. It wasn't just him. It was a lot of it was Belichick. So, I don't know. Maybe is it because of how Bill treated the media? If he were more outgoing, because, people talk about, Andy Reid's so nice and everything like that. Right. Do you think maybe the media would have cut him a break if he were nicer? Do you think that has a lot to do with it? Or is it Patriot envy? What is it?
I think it's Patriot envy. It's just, they're just a lot of haters out there. But my thing is, do you feel like maybe he's gelling? It's going to take him time to gel?
Oh, yeah. I was never expecting this to be right off the rails,
Would you, I guess it takes one phone call right away for just any NFL team to be like, hey, Belichick, You know, and you said his contract is where he can get out of it, right?
Yeah, I think like after a year or something like that. But I mean, even look at the coaches on the hot seats, like Miami, Tennessee. You're telling me you wouldn't want Belichick is way better than a Brian Callahan or, I mean, no offense to Mike McDaniel. You're a good coordinator, but you're not looking like a good coach. So
let me ask you, do you think he would go back into the NFL? I mean, nothing was bad. It's just, you know, like he had the Atlanta interview and then he had the New Orleans, but I mean, and then he got this North Carolina thing.
Yeah. It depends because what does he want out of his career now? Does he just want to work with people that he knows, like, you know, his sons on the staff and stuff like that? Or is he going to go into a situation? It depends on what the owner also wants, right? Like, is he going to give him control? Because, you know, he likes control of like the, you know, the scouts and being like co-GM and stuff like that. You know, and from what it looks like, Belichick wants all those things, and they gave it to him at North Carolina. So maybe that's where he's going to get it. You know, I don't think any other NFL team's going to
give him that,
because even Atlanta, I think that was probably one of the reasons why they turned away, because he probably wanted like a lot of control. Can you
imagine if Patricia like goes to North Carolina and be the D coordinator over there? I mean, it's just kind of like a little reunion. Yeah. And I gotta say, I think college and the college level or the college atmosphere, I think is more of a like, not laid back, but a little bit of like, breathing room, because like with NFL, if you're not winning, they're gonna chop you.
Yeah.
And versus college, I mean, it's going to take some time and then they'll eventually chop you. But I think here, I mean, he's got like that 10-year contract, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think with the endorsements, and then I think he's going to have fun with it. But anyway, I just wanted your take on that.
Yeah, I think he's having a good time, but you know, the media just overblows everything and it's dumb.
Yeah. So do you have anything that you want to? Did you want to talk a little bit of WrestlePalooza? You know, mention anything?
Yeah, I mean, there's been, you know, I follow a lot of the internet wrestling community, and a lot of them were kind of like just like, this was the nothing show, nothing happened. To me, it felt more like an old school wrestling pay per view where, you know, matches happen, there's outcomes, there's winners and losers. What's been going on lately with a lot of WWEs, there's a lot of shenanigans and always like the shock wow factor. And there was none of that here. So people were complaining about that. But then on the other side of it, people complain that there's too much of it. So it's like, you can't have it both ways, people. Like, sometimes there's going to be shows where they're just shows. And this is the first one on ESPN. It's trying to reach a bigger, wider audience. So yeah, this show's going to feel like more standard, more like, I'm not going to say entirely sports presentation wise, but you know, you had winners and losers. It was competitive matches. There was a women's championship match on there. Mm-hmm. That was like a true sports matchup. You know, two opponents that respect each other. They don't hate each other, and they're just fighting for the championship. Yeah, and I like that. But you know, it was back and forth on both sides. You know, ESPN themselves graded the show a C, which to me is not the worst thing. You know, because it was just an average show. It was a wrestling show. Yeah. Like, I think if you went as a regular, like, casual fan, I think you would enjoy it, and probably more like the diehards are going to complain about it because, you know, they don't get their wow factor. They don't get their shock value. It's like, it's not always going to be, you got to realize that this is trying to appeal to more people. So, but I thought it was a fine show.
Yeah. And Lesnar, Dan, that guy's still ripped. I think he's like,
amazingly jacked. I don't know what his age is. I think he's got to be in his late 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked incredible. I mean, that's the only thing I'll nitpick about this show is that it ended up being like a squash match. Yeah. I guess if you want to do sports related, that kind of makes sense because Cena's older, kind of hasn't been doing it a while. Yeah. Lesnar has been off, so he's had time to train. But obviously, Brock Lesnar is like a legit contender because he was in UFC. Right. He dominated. He was a champion there. He's like a legit, like, I wouldn't, like, if you got into a fight with him in real life, you wouldn't want to, like, you wouldn't be like, oh, that guy's a wrestler. He doesn't know, like, what a real punch is. Like, no, that's someone to be afraid of in real life.
Right.
But it was a squash, so a lot of people were pissed about that. But I was like, it makes sense.
I saw a little bit of it at that towards the end where it looked like Cena was going to take it, win it. And then Lesnar just came and did his signature move. I saw in the stands, this little kid in a Cena outfit was crying, and damn, it was just like, Jesus, like, you rip, man. But okay.
Yeah, good start to the ESPN era. I bought the app. Obviously, that's $30. Hopefully a lot of these college games are on the ESPN app because I don't have a cable package right now. So it's either that or going through the antenna for Fox or something like that. So hopefully some of these games are on there.
I believe so. Some of those games usually, especially like your You're Belichick. All right. So we got a guest that's we're going to get on here. We're going to dive into the NFL, unless you have anything else you want to add.
College, we're good. MLB, we're good. We are discussing going to possibly a Spurs game in December.
Yes.
We were thinking about Christmas, but they're actually out of town.
They're actually in Oklahoma.
But this will be my first actual, I went to an NBA game, I think, a year or so. But I go more for my daughter and her dancing, but I forgot when it was. But to actually be invested in what's going on, this will be fun.
I would like to go to Oklahoma. We'd stop at the casinos. We'd probably never make it to the game. But
we could go to Tulsa, where they're Tulsa King's back on the air with Sylvester Stallone. Mm-hmm. I think you would really like that show, Abe. It's mobsters, but it's a bunch of like ragtag characters, so it's not like your typical Goodfellas, Godfather, where everything's clean cut. I mean, Stallone has got the gravitas of like an Italian mobster, but everything, the buddies that he's got around him and his crew, like it's super ragtag, so it works.
I saw up until season 2, and I actually like the usher, or not the usher, but the driver. I like the driver that he's got.
I don't know what his name is.
I don't know his name, but yeah, he's a cool guy. But
yeah, the season just started, and it's already off with a bang. It's going to be a good season.
Yeah, definitely going to a Spurs game. Hopefully we'll be live on that one too. But anyway, all right. So
I guess, do we want to introduce the name of your guest, or do we want to wait until we bring him on?
Let's bring him on, and
all right. So folks, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have our first official guest here at Game Time at the Movies. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah. Go faster! No. Where are you taking me? Just shut up! I need to find my daughter. You know where I can get a gun? Courage, Bob. Courage.
Me and Willa's mom, we used to do some real bad. Now they're coming after us.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
You have to save that child.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Got more fight in you than the rest of us.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Let's go!
One battle after another. Rated R.
All right, welcome back to the show. And for the first time ever on Game Time at the Movies, we have a special guest. Abraham, do you want to introduce him?
Yeah, this is my longtime buddy, my BFF, known him for like 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 25 years, man.
That's awesome.
He's at that point, he's more of like a brother, like you are,
man.
And we've known each other for a long time. But I'd like to introduce my boy, Christopher Cardona.
Yeah.
Welcome.
What's going on, everybody? Big Chris here. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing all right, man. We finally got this show going, and I've been wanting to get you on the show because Robert, my boy here, Chris, man, when the Rams were in that one year when they when they won the Super Bowl, this guy was like, "Hey, the Rams, to watch out for Stafford, this and this and this," and I was like, "Nah, bro."
Oh, that Super Bowl. I thought you were going to go back to like Kurt Warner.
No, not Kurt Warner. No, the one, and he's like, "Watch out for them," and I was like, "Nah, you don't know what you're talking." And I told him, I said, "Nah, you don't know what you're talking about, man." Mm-hmm. And he proved me wrong. So I mean, he knows his stuff. But
good.
Anyway,
I did. I sent you a text.
Yeah,
I sent you a text.
Yeah.
I got a screenshot too. I said, "Look, you watch. Come next year, this is what's going to happen." I sent you that text right around this time of the year. We were just 3-4 weeks in, and I said Stafford's going to take him to the bowl, and you said you don't know football. And I said, "Nope, here it is. Watch." And then here we are, and I sent him a screenshot. Remember this text? That's it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So Chris, we're getting to know each other here live on the pod. Are the Rams your favorite team?
No, they're not my favorite team. It's just I'm a football guy. I know good football when I see it. And even if it's not my team, I got to call it out, man. I mean,
I appreciate that. I like that. I don't get a lot of that around with my buddies.
I'm a realist. It's the other guy that's delusional. Real quick, Chris and Robert, before we get into the topic of NFL, Chris, your son CJ, right, is you want to say something a little bit about him, like his journey?
Yeah, man. He's, born and raised here in Texas. So played football in the greatest football state that there is. I know football was born in, Canton, Ohio, but it was raised by Texas. So, that's just the way it is. So he's played here and now he's playing, collegiate football. He's a specialist. So that's exactly what he does, man. He's a skilled player, up in the cold, loves it, does what he does. He's automatic. Motto is missing is not an option, and he hasn't missed. So that's just the way it is.
Where is he playing?
He's in Crown College in Minnesota. It's about 20 miles west of Minneapolis.
That's awesome. Good for him.
we're actually planning on going up in 2 weeks. They're on a bye week this week, so there's no game this weekend. And then the following week they got their homecoming game, so it's a night game, so it should be fun.
Excellent. That's good to hear, man.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, man. All right, so let's go ahead, Robert. Let's go ahead and dive into the NFL.
Week 4, baby.
Week 4, and we have our 3 games to watch.
Anything that you want to recap on Week 3? Anything that stood out to you, real quick, before we dive into Week 4?
A lot of those games where they blocked the kicks. I don't know if you saw those.
Oh, the special teams,
yeah, the
blocking
special
field
team
goals.
stuff,
Special
blocking.
teams was a bad beat for a lot of special teams.
Yes. The one game, you know what, I'm going to bring it up is the Cowboys and the Bears, and I'm going to bring it up because I told you that.
Because you just can't help yourself.
Well, because no, I'm going to tell you because I told you that every time when somebody plays the Cowboys, they circle it on the calendar because this is the one time where that one player is going to outshine. And Caleb Williams definitely looked like Caleb Williams of USC, right?
Right, but also like Russell Wilson was just throwing lollipops, and you could have been quarterback for any team, and you would have had the game of your life.
That's what I said. I said Russell Wilson looked like the Wilson of Seattle days. I mean, it's just so that game. I mean, I was expecting maybe like a back and forth because the defense was banged up on the Bears side, and so but unfortunately, we got Dak, so that didn't happen. But it was a blowout. There was another game that I was.
Can I name my big surprise? And I'm actually going to call myself out because I gave you shit last week. I was really shocked and surprised of how well Detroit played at Baltimore on Monday.
Oh yes, yeah, hell yeah.
The Lions, right? we prematurely called them dead. Chris, what'd you think of the Lions' performance on Monday? I was actually really surprised.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised. Definitely surprised myself. But didn't really have much to say on them. But just definitely shocked. I don't want to say too shocked. It was more of I guess I was somewhat surprised. But yeah, they definitely took care of business. So yeah.
And Robert's like, oh man, look, Lamar Jackson, and they're playing in Baltimore.
I called myself out. What do you want? What are you trying to get me?
Well, because I want you to, because you were like, oh, the Lions, you're gonna go with Dan Campbell, the rah guy,
and I was wrong.
Yes,
is that okay to say? I was wrong.
Exactly, because I know my shit. I know that when I called the Lions,
but
also
on that. Baltimore secondary, the whole defense is just bad in general.
Oh, now they're bad, but you didn't mention that before. Yeah. You didn't mention that when you picked them, but okay.
They looked worse.
That's your narrative. That's your narrative. Anyway, any other games stood out to you?
No, I was just, again, the special team stuff was going on.
Yeah. What was it? It was the Tampa Bay
game, the freaking Eagles-Rams game.
Eagles-Rams, and the Rams were running away with that game, and then boom.
Yeah, I got to go with that one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Jeez, that game.
That's the one blew me away. Yeah, that one really threw me off. I mean, first half, they came out, looked great, and then all of a sudden we got it's just total, just shift the momentum, and yeah, totally blew me away. I'm not crazy about the tush push because they false starting every time, but they can't referee that play. But I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I was a big. I mean, I still am. Like if you can't stop, you can't stop. Except my Bucks have stopped the tush push, so that's why I'm like, well, whatever, bring it, we'll take it. But over these last couple of games that I've seen, it's been real obvious that there's a bunch of false starting by the Eagles, and it is a hard play to referee, and that's something that's going to have to be decided in the offseason. I think they need, 23, 24 votes, something like that to get rid of it. But I think it's becoming painfully obvious. Like you're seeing it, and I'm pretty sure whoever voted.
I think they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think now they'll probably vote against it, so we probably won't see that play much longer.
Exactly.
Probably not.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and dive. The main reason for the special guest is the return of Micah Parsons in Jerry World. This is, everybody, what our thoughts are with the Packers coming in here. I know, Robert, you mentioned that they lost to the Browns, so now they're going to come back with revenge.
That's the thing, though. Like now I'm kind of like in a little conundrum because the Cowboys got beaten down by the Bears. The Packers underwhelmed in Cleveland, so now it's kind of like they both have to kind of like punch up and play their best game. So this, I think regardless, I think Dallas was going to play strong regardless. So if let's say Dallas had beaten the Bears handily, let's say that, then I probably would have given Jordan Love and the Packers more, for them having like a big game. But now it's like, ooh, I think both of them are going to just come out strong.
Yeah. Chris, so, I mean, what are your thoughts of, Micah Parsons coming back to Jerry World? I mean, I think I saw somewhere where he says like it's going to be, what is it, like tough love or
it's going to be tough to sack Dak is what he said. He said it's going to be tough to sack Dak because that's his guy. It's going to be tough to sack him, but to him, he says, it's what he says now. Maybe that's why he wasn't doing that great toward the end, is that it's just another game at AT&T Stadium. Okay. I'm just saying, and of course it doesn't have Dan Quinn anymore. So we all know he did well with Dan Quinn. Didn't do so well toward the end of his career. Not career, but his time with Dallas. And people say, oh, great, we're not going to win without Micah. Well, we really weren't winning with him toward the end. So, him coming back, honestly, I think it's going to be split, man. I think he's going to have, a good, a warm welcome by a good amount of people. And then a lot of people are not going to welcome him so well. And the fact that they're not even doing like a tribute to him and everything, I'm kind of indifferent. Doesn't matter either way. But I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. So I think he's probably going to have one of his best games of the season this weekend.
Chris, what's your feeling on how Dallas is going to approach Micah? I mean, if it were me and my team, like just to like kind of get him out of his groove, I'd probably like double team him, triple if you have to, because he's going to play even more with more just fire and all that stuff.
Right.
How would you
Absolutely. I mean, well, for one, you can't stop heart, right? That's one thing. He's got every bit of it. He's got every bit of heart that he needs to play football. Definitely one of the top players when it comes to having heart. Now, that's what happened toward the end of his time with Dallas, is that offenses were changing up the way they played to focus on Micah Parsons. They had to focus. He was getting double teamed every which way. And so he wasn't being as effective for the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to do that to him. They're probably going to double team him. They're going to have to figure out a way to give Dak some time to throw the ball. I know we're down a receiver. Actually, we're down 2 receivers, I think. Mm-hmm. But still, they're going to have to give Dak time to throw the ball, and they're going to have to kind of exclude Micah from the whole, equation, if you will.
For sure.
So I think they're going to double team him. And I really don't think that Green Bay has anybody else, kind of like the way the Cowboys were. Once they double team Micah, we didn't really have anybody else rushing the edge. So I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to have to game plan for it. That's my take on it. So I mean, they're going to have to, but aside from that, Dallas is going to be Dallas. I hate to say it. They're my team, but Dallas is going to be Dallas. And I know they're at home. They're going to have the home field advantage, but Green Bay, it's a young team. Even Love was even saying how nice it would be to play with Parsons, and now it's happening. So I think these guys are just flying high, and I think they're going to come in. He's going to get double teamed, but I still think he's going to have one of his best games of the season.
Yeah, and also the Cowboys are going to be out there. One of their first round picks, the offensive line. I think it's Tyler.
Offensive line.
Yeah, I think Tyler Booker. So now, and then they're out CD. I was looking at stuff that there might be some kind of interest in OBJ. But I don't.
You'll take it.
Hey, no, I'm not Jake. I didn't say freaking bring him on. I said I don't want that guy on my team. What is he? He hasn't done anything.
The popularity
because of
he did have that one catch against the Cowboys.
Yeah, he had the one. Hey, you know what I'm looking forward to? Jadeveon Clowney going after.
Did they sign him officially?
Yes, he didn't play because
nobody cares.
No, because Diggs played. Diggs ended up playing. We should have just set him.
He'll be a non-factor.
Watch.
I will watch.
Yes.
We've been watching Jadeveon.
Yeah, All right, so let's go ahead and go. Robert, what are your thoughts? Of Micah coming in here and.
I mean, I'm Bill Belichick Patriots, old school style. I'm gonna completely, to Chris's point, I'm just gonna completely make him a non-factor. You don't want his name being brought up in the broadcast. Like, what happened to Micah? Oh, he's being double, triple teamed, so you're not getting anything. This really does come down to the 2 quarterbacks, I think, and who's going to be, because, Green Bay, other than Micah, they still have a feisty young defense. So, if I'm Green Bay, I'm with the Micah thing, like, it's a great morale boost, but like, to think that it's just because of him that now they're like, they got a great defense. No, I think their defense was pretty good before he got there. Yeah, he gives that added edge, but if I'm those Green Bay players, I'm kind of like, low key disrespected, watch,
Right.
It's not just him, it's going to be us too. So watch for a lot of the other playmakers there on that defense to get after Dak. And then, Love should have a good game against this defense. That secondary is just, my God, like I said, you could just lob it up and, one of the receivers is going to catch it.
Yeah, it's bad. That secondary is horrible. So yeah, and Love, I mean, the last two quarterbacks they played was Wilson and Williams. So I mean, now you got Love, and I think Love is a little bit better than those two
for sure.
And so now you got that, and then with Josh Jacobs, as your running back. So I mean, I don't know. So let's go ahead and let's decide. I mean, who we're picking for this game. Chris, you want to go ahead and go first and give us your pick on the Packers and the Cowboys?
Yeah. I'm going to go with the, I hate to say it, Cowboys are my team, but I'm going to go with the Packers on this one. I'm going to be looking at, I'm saying 35-9. It's going to be all Aubrey for the Cowboys.
Ooh, 35-9. Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be all Aubrey. It's going to be all Aubrey for the Cowboys. All we got to do is get one first down, let them kick it. That's all we're going to get.
Wow. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and it's gonna be a little bit closer. I'm still picking the Packers, but I'm looking like at a 24-20 type game. I think Dallas is gonna have a real good showing here. They have to. Dak's got to put this team on his back, and just, I mean, that speech. Jerry's gonna be in there during the week too. Like, hey, we got to stick it to Micah. Don't fucking let me down. But there's gonna be that shot of him, and it's gonna be Tariq.
I hope you're right.
It's gonna be Tarico and Collinsworth. Just be like, Jerry. And it may come down to a play where, like, man, if Dallas had like that one defensive playmaker,
right?
Because that's the way it was in the Philadelphia game, right? They were like, what was missing? They just needed one defensive play. They just need one
defensive. Yeah, exactly. If CD was playing, I probably would probably go Cowboys.
I didn't factor that in either.
Yeah, if CD was playing, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to give the edge to the Cowboys because it could be an offensive battle, right? But because CD's out and because it's Micah homecoming for him, I got to go big on Packers. I'm thinking 42-6.
42. Okay, wow.
Yeah, listen.
How are you guys not factoring in the personal fact?
Yeah, but Robert, what did I just say right now? The two quarterbacks that we faced, they were shit, and we got Love now.
Yeah, but look at those are just games. There's not like that added in. Like, oh man, it's personal. It's a personal game.
I understand that.
They're gonna play up. Just watch.
If that was the case, they would have done this from week one. They would, week one they came in good, and because of that,
because they probably still had that arrogance in them. But now it's like, oh man, here comes the guy like that.
No way. I got to go big on this. I think Jordan Love's gonna feast. That secondary is atrocious. It's bad, horrible. Diggs, yeah, man, like he's not the Diggs of 2021.
I don't know, Chris. What do you think? I think the Cowboys are going to play a little bit more up. Like they're gonna put up a good fight.
I think the only thing that we're going to get, because it's a personal battle, is we're going to get a lot of pushing and shoving after every play.
Well, any like dumb penalties, flags, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, anything. Anything. You take a hit, and there's gonna be a lot of jawing out there, and they're gonna be trying to get in each other's heads. And obviously, the guys on the Packers side are knowing that now they got Micah, so they know that a lot of the players are salty, the fans are salty.
Yeah.
There's gonna be 60,000 people in that place this weekend, and there's gonna be a lot of salt up in there. So
the only way the Cowboys win is if Micah spits on Dak. That's the only way he gets ejected before the game. That's the only way. Go. That's the only way. All right.
There you go.
Any more thoughts on this game? You guys?
I'm pretty good on this.
You're good? Okay. Yeah. Let's go to Robert, to one of your three games that you liked, and this one will be the Eagles and the Bucks.
Well, I mean, the way you two are talking about it, it's like NBC should flex this game out, or flex out the Cowboys game, put this one in there. I mean, that would have been my thinking, but I still think it's going to be a good game. Talking about Cowboys, Packers, but to the Eagles and Bucks, Bucks have had the Eagles number the last couple of years that they've played. I think the record is like 4-1 against Jalen. So,
yep.
But my Bucks are completely depleted on the O-line. Supposedly Tristan Wirfs is going to make his season debut this week. He's coming off of like a knee surgery, something like that.
Right.
He's obviously top 5 best offensive lineman in the league.
Yes.
Mike Evans is going to be out a couple of weeks. Chris Godwin, on the other hand, might play. What's really helping is they've had the emergence of Mika Ibuka.
Yes.
Just like incredible, just firepower for Baker there. This is going to be great. I think the Bucks match up well with the Eagles. I think that defense is going to be able to give Jalen some fits. They haven't been too, special on offense this season. There's been a lot of like, this team's boring. They don't do obviously they do a lot of the tush pushing and stuff.
Right.
The Bucks have a really good run defense, so they're probably going to put it on Jalen to get him to throw it. And Jamal Dean got his first pick six last week against the Jets. I think it's going to be real close. I think if the Bucks eliminate those, Baker's got to make those plays. Can't leave it to like the last like couple of series at the end to try to get the win. You want to put up some points quickly on this Eagles team. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Bucks. Obviously,
of course.
I mean,
of course,
what?
Of course, you go with the Bucks, right?
But
because you're a homer.
But I back it up because they have their number. They played them good. They match up well against them. What?
Okay.
What? Combat me then.
So you pick the Bucks. Okay, sure. Yeah. All right.
But what's
your because of the start of Christian Wirth coming back. That's one guy. You lose Mike Evans.
That's like your heart of the O-line.
You're depending on Chris Godwin, who has a banged up knee still, even though he practiced today.
Maybe, but I mentioned Ibuka too.
Ibuka is also he's also injured. He's also injured.
What do you mean?
Ibuka's injured? But he's playing. He played.
But he played last week too, and he was already on the injury report.
All right, whatever.
You like that?
No, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Chris, what are your thoughts on this game? Eagles Bucks.
Oh man, I like what the Bucks have been doing. I like Baker Mayfield right now, but I think when it comes down to it, if the Bucks don't have a good outing stopping the run and the tush push becomes a factor, it's going to come down to a late play like that in the game, and I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm going to go with the Eagles on that one.
Is it going to be close, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be close. I'm thinking it's going to be close, and it's going to come down to another false start play that they're going to give it to them.
The Eagles are, I think, arriving a day earlier to acclimate to the heat. But there's like no way you can adjust for that in a day. I think some people in Florida are like, still can't even get acclimated to the heat.
That's true. That's true. Obviously I know these guys are playing there in Philly. They've been accustomed to Philly, but you also gotta remember a lot of these players, come from, have played in Texas, have been in Texas.
Right.
So the heat that they're going to be dealing with, the heat and the humidity up in that East Coast is very similar to what they've dealt with, on the Texas side. So,
gotcha.
Obviously they're not going to acclimate completely, but I think they'll be prepared. I think they'll be prepared. I think they got a good enough squad to be able to go out there and get it done. It's going to be close.
Wait, I want to combat you real quick, Abe, because you call me a homer, but I at least gave you reasons as to why I think the Bucks would be favored, and from my point of view, and you just gave like all these like reasons of how depleted your secondary is. But then on the other hand, you're like, oh, but if CD was there, yeah, I'd give him a chance to win. Like really, based on what you said about your defense, that's a total homer pick.
But the offense is holding up. If they had with Pickens, with Tolbert, with Javon Williams,
you're also discrediting
with Miles
Green Bay's
Sanders.
Defense.
Yeah, but they're a young defense as well. But all they have is, like Chris said, all they have is Micah. And then you take away Micah, who do they have? Kenny Clark's on our side. What do you mean?
But they got dudes. It may not be big names, but they got dudes.
You see what all right. Yeah. Anyway.
Got you.
This one here, Eagles have been, they've had a slow start. They're slow. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just in a funk, whatever. Super Bowl. What is it? Super Bowl hangover, whatever. I don't know.
That's for the losers, not the winners.
Well, either way, it could be for them too. I'm going to go with the Bucks though, because I like Baker. I like Mayfield. He makes the plays. He makes it happen. He's comfortable. Tampa is his home.
Okay.
Bucky Irving. I got to go with him. Rashid White? Rashid White. Bucky Irving. That's a great 1-2 combo right there. That's a great running back right there. And he's super young. Egbuka. This guy is amazing. He's from the U as well. Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned Cade Otton, the tight end. So, I mean, I got to go with this. I mean, Philly.
Okay, so what was your problem calling it a
well,
homer
because
pick?
it's typical for you to pick that. That's why. Because it's typical because you won't pick against them because the Eagles are not that bad. It's just they start off slow. But you see, you won't admit that.
That's funny.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see if Antoine Winfield can cover one of those guys. AJ
Antoine Winfield is incredible.
He's up there in age. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's go back to him. Let's flop over to my side here. My game also to look for is the Vikings versus the Steelers. Mm-hmm. And I picked this because the Vikings defense has emerged. And the Steelers defense has been unknown. So now as we go into this, they're going to play in Pittsburgh. So is this going to be, do you think the defense, like is Vikings defense going to handle Aaron Rodgers? And then is JJ Watt going to come out and like do something here? Because is it still, what's the guy's name? The quarterback,
who are you talking about?
Minnesota.
Vikings?
Yeah.
It's going to be Carson Wentz.
It's still Carson Wentz, right? So I'm going to go with the Vikings here because the defense is just playing amazing and they still have some playmakers. I know the Steelers are a little banged up, but Aaron Rodgers, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to go.
Let's go to Chris here before I give my thoughts on it.
So on this one, I'm also going to go with the Vikings. I think the defense has been playing pretty well, making some big plays, when it counts. Of course, some of these big plays came at home. I know they're playing away. I like Rodgers. I do like Rodgers. A lot of times finds a way to pull some plays out of his hat. But he hasn't been the Rodgers of when he was with the Green Bay Packers. He's still Aaron Rodgers, so they still got to respect his name. But I'm going to go with this one. I've always believed that defense wins games, and I think that the Vikings are going to pull this one out because of their defense.
Nice. The Vikings destroyed the Bengals, and I had thought that the Bengals would have pulled it out just because I thought they had the better backup QB. He's proven he's won some games with that cast with Higgins and Chase and all that stuff. But I underestimated that Vikings defense. So I'm not going to give Carson Wentz a lot of credit. That victory is all the Vikings defense. It was I think almost 5 turnovers in that game. So that's going to matter in this game. I do think though, like Chris said, a little bit more respect to Aaron Rodgers, I think, to get it done. I think it's going to be an ugly game, low scoring, but I think Rodgers will pull out a play or two, and that'll get them the victory over the Vikings, I think. Because you gotta give Aaron Rodgers some respect.
Yeah, true.
Who do you have, the Vikings?
Yeah, I got the Vikings. Just the defense.
You just don't think Aaron Rodgers can do anything?
I didn't say that, but I'm just saying.
Why are you picking them? Just based on
solely on the defense? I mean,
Carson Wentz, you're a believer?
Hey, they have a weapon on there, Justin Jefferson. I mean, come on. So
okay, Aaron Rodgers got DK Metcalf.
So DK Metcalf is better than Justin Jefferson. I want you to say that right now. Say that right now.
I'm not going to say that, but you acted as if Rodgers doesn't have anybody.
I didn't say that. He has DK. Okay, Metcalf. Who else does he have? Austin. What?
Dude, Rodgers can make players. He can make
things happen. Now you're on the Rodgers train.
I've been on the Rodgers train. Go back to episode 1. What did I say?
No,
I said I hope he has a great season.
Okay. See, that's because it fits your narrative. That's why.
What narrative?
It's your narrative.
That I want him to have a great season.
Okay, but you won't pick the right teams to win the game because
the Vikings they don't have a QB.
They have a receiver. The receivers can't make plays.
But it's got to be the QB's got to distribute the ball.
Throw it up. Throw the ball up. I'm sure Winston can throw the ball up, right? And you grab it?
Not Carson Wentz.
Anyway.
I mean, I'll eat crow of that.
Yeah, you are going to
if Carson Wentz throws 4 TDs or whatever in the game.
It's got to be some 4 TDs. What if he can just have a good game?
1 TD,
2 TDs?
He throws for
maybe 2
160 yards. No, I'm not going to be impressed.
But you won't give the credit.
I'll give the credit to the defense. Not the offense.
Oh, man. Okay, anyway, let's go to your next game. It's the Indianapolis Colts versus the Rams.
Here we go. First big test for the Indianapolis Colts, who, again, a lot of people are already jumping on the bandwagon for that, including Abe, who says they're the surprise team of the NFL this season. We're still in the stretch of September where I believe this is the real preseason. We're not going to find out who the actual real teams are once we get past mid-October, November, closer to Thanksgiving. Then we'll really know. But this will be a good test for the Colts. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Matthew Stafford and this Rams defense, which I think will be able to to give Daniel Jones in this offense, humble him a little bit. I don't think they're going to go like on some 9-game winning streak. It'll come to a head here, and they'll come down just a little bit because everyone's starting to build up the Colts just a little bit. But I like the Rams in this spot. They should have won. They know they can beat the Eagles. It's just they've come up short the last 2 times, but they're right there. So I'm not going to discount the Rams as a not elite team. They're up there on the echelon in the Super Bowl bubble. So I got the Rams in this one.
Nice, Chris.
I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. All around good football team on all 3 aspects. Just solid football completely all the way around. So I think the Colts are lacking just a tad. I just think that the Rams are going to have the edge on this one. It is going to be their first test, obviously, but I do like your whole. This is the real preseason. Obviously, none of the starters played during the actual preseason, so I like where your head's at on that. But obviously, Rams have already been coming out, kind of close to mid-season form, and that's why I'm feeling like these guys are going to pull it out.
Yeah, because remember last season, this was the Saints. Remember they started off like 2-3-0, and I was like, oh my God, the Saints.
Yeah.
Here they come, and then they just completely cratered. So we don't know yet. We really don't know what teams are what. So the media's hyping up the Colts, and the new nickname is also Indiana Jones is what they're calling him, which I will gladly call him that over the other nickname. I'll never call him the other thing, which I won't even say it on air ever. But, good for the Colts. This is good for their team. I like Shane Steichen as a coach, so I'm glad that he's having this success. And if anything, if they make it all the way or make a playoff run, it's going to be because of him. I think more than anything, he's a quarterback whisperer. So Daniel Jones has him to thank.
Yeah, it's Shane Steichen versus McVay. I like McVay. He's the better coach.
For sure.
I'm going to go with the Rams as well because that defense is they're young and they're really good. Wait,
who are you going with?
I'm going with the Rams.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with the Rams because I think this is where the Daniel Jones will come down from his little high. I know Jonathan Taylor is a great running back. He's having a good season so far, but that's not going to be enough. I know they have Michael Pittman Jr. out there and stuff like that, but not big name receivers, not ones that can shut it down or close it out. So I'm going to go with the Rams because I think Devontae is questionable, but he'll probably play. But you still got Puka, and you still got Kyren Williams, so and Stafford. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
Excellent. What's your next game?
My last game is going to be the Chargers versus the Giants. And the only reason why I picked this one is because the Chargers are on a high. You and I are big on this team. We love the coach. Now you insert Jackson Dart, and let's see, with the quarterback change, Wilson's benched. I'm definitely picking the Chargers because they're on a roll right now. They're playing really good football. Harbaugh, it's Harbaugh. So, I'm going with the Chargers. I think the Giants might be a little bit lifted with Jackson Dart. We'll see what he can do. I don't know, but I'm going Chargers.
Chris, who do you got?
I think Dart's going to give him a game. Obviously coming in, Wilson's going to be, obviously, like you said, he's benched. So I think Dart's going to come in, just really try to have a good show and show what he can do, try to win that spot. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers as well too. I don't think it's enough time for Dart to get in, and make a whole turnaround for this team just in the first game. Maybe later, but not against the Chargers. So I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one.
Yeah, based on how things went against Kansas City on Sunday, what terrible Sunday night game, by the way. I don't know what's going on with their scheduling. But I think that Daboll should have put him in probably like in the second half of that game just to get him those reps. I think this is a bad spot for Dart, even though I think he'll eventually be like the guy there in New York. And being in the New York market, like the target and pressure on him is going to be even bigger than, saying starting for Cleveland or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to go also with the Chargers. I know, like I just mentioned, September is kind of like the preseason, the real preseason, but I think Herbert has taken a massive step forward in terms of like closing out games, and Jim Harbaugh's is just, we have to say it, he's one of the best coaches in the, on the pro and the collegiate level. He just gets his team in contention like every single time. Wherever he goes, it doesn't matter. If they make the Super Bowl this year, we can even make a case like, man, he's one of the greatest coaches ever.
Definitely.
Just in history. But yeah, I think he's got this team in the right direction. I know they lost Khalil Mack for a couple of weeks.
Right.
So that defense does take a hit a little bit, but yeah, definitely the Chargers. Dart may get some cool plays, but
yeah, I don't think it'll be enough.
No.
But all right, and then for the last of the 3 games, the Ravens versus the Chiefs.
Yeah. I was feeling good about Baltimore up until what I saw Monday. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying, the Chiefs are going to be back. You know, they looked great on Sunday night. You know, Collinsworth was doing his best to prop up Mahomes in some of these plays. Like there's one, I don't know if you saw the game. There's one where he's like, he starts coloring the map like a little maze because Mahomes is one of those like escapes running around like backyard football. And it's like, oh my God, Mahomes. And I'm just like, dude, it's the freaking Giants. Like they're not that good. But the Baltimore defense, man, is very vulnerable right now. So I think this could be a high-scoring game. I think Worthy's back on track to play. Right now, Baltimore's trending in the wrong direction. Henry fumbling all over the place. That's not good. Even he was like fumbling himself on the bench. I don't know if you saw that after that one fumble. He's struggling to sit down. It's like, what's going on with this guy? I like Kansas City in this spot, even though, you know, I'm not a big Mahomes guy, but he's going to be feeling himself in this game, making some good plays.
Definitely.
I got Kansas City.
All right. Chris?
I'm going to go with Kansas City as well. Definitely. I like Mahomes. I'm not like a massive fan. I do like the fact that he's from Texas football. Texas football players are just different. He's proved it, you know, year after year. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. Hopefully we don't see too much of Swift on the screen, but other than that, I think we'll be all right. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, you know.
But is that,
you know,
is that because they're losing, or you think the league's tired?
I don't know.
I think it's already kind of, you know, run its course, you know, now that it's going to be, you know, Travis, you know, Kelsey Swift. Right. So we know he's changing his name.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He's got to. Okay. That's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's just, that scene's already played out, right? You know, he makes a catch. We got to show her on the big screen. I kind of like that. Maybe they're just keeping it more about football. Okay. Everybody's got girlfriends. Everybody's got wives. Nobody has to put them up all over the screen. We know who they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But then again, he hasn't been playing all that great either. So,
what's your take on the Chiefs overall? Like, do you think like this is the year where like, or do you think it's over? Like, I mean, obviously they can always be a contender, but like, do you think it's this little run of theirs is over about, you know, them always being like in the AFC title game and in the Super Bowl? Like, what do you think?
I think that they are a contender for the title game. I just don't think that it's going to be given to them, or it's going to be as easy of a bet this year as it was the last couple. Gotcha. Because I mean, obviously, again, like you said, this is kind of technically their preseason because they're just getting going.
Right.
But even the years that they won, they were already looking super sharp early on in the season, just the way that they were at the end.
Yeah.
So, and we're not seeing that right now. You know, I feel like Mahomes has been flustered a few times, typically not typical for him, but you know, I feel like he's still a good enough player to where he's going to make those adjustments. And overall, I think he's going to come back and still have a great year as long as he stays healthy. But aside from that, yeah, I am going to go with the Chiefs on this one. I think I think it's going to be a high scoring game for them. He's going to put up a lot of points on the board, and especially if Worthy comes back. Another Texas guy, you know, played here with the Longhorns. You know, one of the fastest guys in the league. Just throw it out to him. He'll go get it. You know.
Yeah, and at the Giants game, I don't know if you saw in the stands, it said, "Oh, Taylor's here." And they psyched the crowd out because the crowd got
Lawrence Taylor,
and it was Lawrence Taylor. And I was like,
that's some nice trolling.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. That's good though.
Yes,
that's good. That's good. Keep it about football.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I will be curious though, like if they do, let's say the Chiefs go like on a 5-game winning streak, all of a sudden we start seeing more of her being shown. I'm just, I mean, there's narratives, whatever.
I'm going to stop that right now because I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to bounce back from that Lions loss, from that Lions game. I think Henry might focus on that and get a little bit more motivated. I think Lamar, you know, is going to want something, you know, to do here. I know that you have Xavier Worthy and you've got Hollywood Brown and stuff like that. But you got Lamar on the other side.
Oh, now it's Lamar.
And Lamar and Derrick Henry, huh?
Oh, now it's Derrick Henry.
Hopkins?
You were giving me shit
Mark
last
Andrews?
week.
You know what? That's last week. This is this week. I'm going with the Ravens because of the Chiefs. I know.
And I'm also going to throw this in there. You're giving me shit about the Steelers. Who's at the top of the AFC North right now?
Okay.
Just saying.
I'll eat crow.
Saying.
I'll eat crow if the damn Steelers lose. Next week on next week's show.
Okay.
All right. So that's going to be it for our 3 slates of games. Now let's go into the full schedule. Real quick. We're going to start off with Thursday night's game on Prime. Got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Can I start off on this?
Go
one?
ahead. Yeah.
Oh man, I am loving what I'm seeing from the Seattle defense. They absolutely squashed the Saints. I think like right away from the get-go, They scored on them. This team's going to be feisty, a lot more feistier than what I was originally anticipating for this team. McDonald coming over from Baltimore, he's really got that defense in shape. Darnold is a really competent quarterback. You know, he's got his weapons there. Cooper Kupp, but then there's that other receiver. I forgot what his name is. He's got some weird last name.
Smith-Njigba or something like that.
Really good receiver.
Yes.
Really sucks that I didn't pick him up in fantasy because he's been a really good performer there for them.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely picking Seattle here. I know Arizona's also undefeated, but too much up and down from Kyler Murray and that team. And I just can't trust them. I know it's a divisional game, so it may be closer than what we think, but I think that Seattle defense is going to give Kyler some fits. Yeah, I got Seattle.
All right. Chris?
Same thing. Defense wins games. Offense sells tickets. So I'm going to go with Seattle on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle. Kyler Murray is on my fantasy team, and I had to bench him because he's just hot and cold. And then the catching issues with Marvin Harrison, dropping catches. So yeah, that hurts.
Beat for me.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. I'm going to go Seattle. Okay. All right. So now we're going to head into Sunday. We already talked. We're going to go ahead and go with the Tennessee, this is the battle of the 0-3s. Tennessee Titans versus the Houston Texans over on CBS.
Let's go to Chris first on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Chris, if you want to go ahead and head off on this one.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go with Houston on this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Houston on this one. I think nobody wants to continue to lose here, but I just think, I think Houston's going to muster up enough just to get the job done. Haven't really seen much from them. Hopefully they'll give us, a decent game to watch, somewhat of an NFL caliber game, if you will.
Right.
But, I'm going to go with Houston on this one.
You go ahead.
I'm going to go with Houston, even though I think if they had Mixon and if they had Tank Dell, I think this would be a little bit different of an offense, but Stroud needs to get out of it. And right now, Cam Ward is kind of he's a rookie, so I didn't expect him to be spectacular, but I'm going to go Houston.
Yeah. They're desperate, real desperate mode. I mean, Tennessee, you could say the same thing, but they're still in that rebuilding mode, and they got Tommy Boy, Brian Callahan, freaking. I think we need to look out for him on the hot seat as far as being one of the coaches to be axed. I know everyone's talking about Mike McDaniel from Miami, but they at least put up a fight last week against Buffalo, so he kind of saves his job for another week kind of thing. But Tennessee, keep an eye out. I think Cam Ward with the right coach, I think is going to at least be a contender in the AFC South. But Houston, I think, is more desperate. DeMeco Ryans will have a good game plan against Ward. And C.J. Stroud, man, I really like that kid, and he's a great thrower of the football. I love his throws. He's got to get it together also and figure it out. But there's got to be a better game plan also from their coordinator for him, so to have a successful game. So I got Texans.
All right, heading into the next game, still a noon kickoff on CBS. It's the 2-1 Commanders versus the 1-2 Falcons. Chris, you want to go ahead and hit us off with this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Commanders on this one. Offensively, I've seen some things I like with this young team. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Commanders.
Okay, nice. Michael Penix was benched in favor of Kirk Cousins.
30-0 against the Panthers.
Slaughterville.
Good for me, good for my Bucks.
Yeah. So I'm real quick. I think Jaden Daniels comes back this week. He was practicing. I'm gonna go Commanders on this one.
Yeah, Margot Mariota did good for that team.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, I know it was against the Raiders, which, by the way, I'm out on that fucking team. I was high on them early, but I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah,
even if they go on a streak now, forget it. I want nothing to do with that team. I like the Commanders here. Jaden Daniels back. Yeah.
All right. The next game is also a noon game. Saints 0-3 versus the 3-0 Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go. Chris, you want to lead us off with this one?
Saints 0-3, Buffalo 3-0.
Yeah.
Man, well, yeah. I mean,
you're thinking about it?
No, I mean, like, I guess it's I'm kind of sarcastic here. Didn't the Niners take out the Saints too?
Yeah.
And I don't think they're playing all that well, you know? So yeah, Saints they're not gonna do anything this weekend. They just go ahead and mark the loss on their record this week. I mean, I guess it's that easy to say.
Yeah. I'm going to go Bills. I don't have much to say.
Yeah. I mean, if Buffalo wants to be the team that everybody thinks that they're going to be the Super Bowl contenders, they got to squash those teams. Like, they can't be in close ones like the Chiefs were all last season, close games every week. Like, no, there are teams that you need to squash on your way to winning a Super Bowl, or at least getting there. So I got the Bills big here.
Definitely. And they're playing in Bills Mafia. So
I forget it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Bad beat for Spencer right there.
You're right. Next game is also a noon game on Fox. It's the 1-2 Cleveland Browns traveling to Detroit, playing the Lions, who are 2-1. I'm not gonna say this is gonna be a Slaughterville, but because look what happened when the Browns played the Packers. Chris,
I'm going to go with Detroit on this one. Okay. Yeah, especially it's playing at home, so I'm going with them.
I'm just going to go real quick. I'm going to go with the Lions, even though I don't think this is, like I said, it's not going to be a shootout. I think it's just going to be kind of real tight because Cleveland's defense is still decent.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go with the Browns.
Hey!
All right.
This could be another ugly game, 10-3 in the fourth quarter. Myles Garrett gets a strip sack on Jared Goff. Like, this Cleveland Browns defense, man, they're not a joke. They're a top 5 defense in the league. Like, if they get in close games all season and then all Flacco has to do is just play competent, they can win a lot of games here. So, I'm not going to say that they are going to win a lot of games, but at least this week, it'll be, the Lions are probably riding a little high off of Baltimore. Probably feeling themselves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So look for Cleveland here to give them a good fight. I'm gonna just to be contrarian. Okay. I'll pick them.
I mean, nothing wrong with
that. I like it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I like it. Sunday's going to be real interesting. I'm going to remember all these picks. It's going to be very interesting.
All right. The next game we got is also a noon game as well on Fox. The 1-2 Panthers traveling to your New England Patriots, who are 1-2.
Let me start with this one.
Off.
Gosh. Patriots got to start showing up, man. Drake May's got to get it going. I'm expecting them to win. The Panthers, I don't know what to make of them, even though they put a zero burger there for the Falcons. I wouldn't read too much into that. I think that's more Atlanta than Carolina good, if I had to say it that way.
Yeah.
Drake May, I don't know what the status is of Christian Gonzalez. What's going on with that injury there? But once he gets back into that lineup for the defense, I think they're going to step it up a big notch because he's like the heart and soul of that defense. But Drake May's got to play a little better. He had some turnovers in this past game against the Steelers. If it weren't for that, I think they would have had a good shot of winning that game. So Vrabel's got to get this team on the right track. I picked them to be a playoff team for this season. I don't know. With the way they're playing right now, it doesn't look like it. I'll be honest about it, but this team can only go up from here, so I expect a good dominant win from them here.
All right, nice. Chris?
I'm going to go Carolina on this one.
Oh, God.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, man. I'm not really seeing anything good coming out of New England.
I respect it.
Just nothing just nothing that's impressing me. But then again, it's kind of hard, obviously, because, for what seems like 30 years, you got great New England, and then all of a sudden things change, and then they just can't get it together.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's a little bias. Maybe it's a little biasness. I mean, I guess you could call it that, but I mean, I would have figured that by now they could have already rebuilt something that's contender level, and I just haven't seen it. So I'm gonna,
You're not wrong.
I'm gonna kind of go out on a limb here. Kind of like the way you did with the Browns. I'm gonna go Carolina on this one.
Okay. I can't hate on that. I can't.
Bryce Young versus Drake May. I like Drake May. Give me the Pats on here. Vrabel, love that guy, man. I wish he would have gone to the Cowboys, but Pats here. All right, so we're good on this game?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to go into the 3:05 games. This one's going to be on Fox. It's the 2-1 Jaguars versus the 3-0 49ers.
Give me the 49ers. I hate the Jaguars. Liam Cohen. I mean, you can spoil this for the rest of the season. I will not be picking the Jaguars once at all this season. Screw Liam Cohen. Mac Jones all day. Mac Jones going against his former team. Yeah. He was a backup back there last year.
Just real quick, Chris, the reason why Robert is going against the Jaguars is because Liam Cohen was the Bucs offensive coordinator, and he betrayed.
The way he went about it was fucking awful, and I wish him nothing but awful success or just failure there in Jacksonville.
Anyway,
oh my gosh,
Chris, who do you got on this game?
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely not a fan of this team. My son's godfather is a diehard Niner fan, and of course when my Cowboys lose, he rubs it in my face, and I haven't been able to rub a 49ers loss in his face. Even with the backups, I just don't know how they just somehow pull it out. And I think it's going to happen again this week. It's just, they're going to do it. 49ers, because for some reason I want them to lose, and because I want them to lose, they're just not. Yeah. So, I mean, call it superstition, but, it's going to be Niners this week, and he's going to get another win, and he's going to rub it in my face next week when I see him. So,
nice.
Real quick, this doesn't look good for my pick, but Niners injury prone. Bosa out for the year.
Yeah, he's out
torn
for the
ACL.
Torn.
God damn, this team can't catch any breaks.
They can't. They
but
really can't.
I still believe in them. Mac Jones, baby.
Mac Jones,
CMC.
Yeah.
1 and 2 combo.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, he's a great backup. He's a damn good backup. Yeah. Did well. Definitely a good one to have as a backup. Obviously.
Yeah, I don't like this Jaguars team. I don't know what they're doing with Travis Hunter. I think you said he's been more on defense. I don't know.
From the last time I saw you.
Yeah, I don't know why the hell I have him on fantasy. I dropped him. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Niners. Shout out to Paco, Niner Nation. Yeah. They're pulling it out. So, I mean, why not?
Man, that's good coaching. That's good. Salah's back on that defensive staff.
Oh, that's right. Robert Saleh.
We didn't put that, into notice. But, yeah, got to give them props, man. They're first in the NFC North? No,
yes.
NFC West.
NFC West. Well, all right. Anything else on this game?
No.
All right, guys. So now we're going to go to the 325 game on CBS. It's going to be the 1 and 2 Bears versus the 1 and 2 Raiders. Chris, you want to go ahead and lead us off with this one?
Oof.
Yeah. I'm thinking that coming off that win against the Cowboys, Caleb Williams might have another game where he actually shows up like a number 1 pick. Where he shows up like a number 1 pick and, keeps his fingernails clear and doesn't paint them. Maybe he'll play like a number 1 pick. I think he's going to do well again. And I think, he's going to take care of business.
So you're going to get the Bears?
I'm going to get the Bears on this one, man.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what the Raiders have that the Cowboys wish they had. Max Crosby. I think Max Crosby is going to give Caleb a run for his life on this one. I don't think he's going to have the completions that he had. That flea flicker is not going to happen with this defense. I can assure you that. Real quick, I'm going to go with the Raiders on this one. I think Geno Smith bounces back because the Bears defense is also missing. So I'm going Raiders.
I think this is going to be an ugly game regardless. But I will pick the Raiders just based on their defense. And, Caleb, still not a real accurate thrower. I mean, he looked fantastic.
Of course.
Again, Sunday was an outlier, folks. It was a complete outlier.
And they kept talking about him all week.
Against my Cowboys.
All week they talked about him.
My Cowboys.
Yeah, and week they were talking about him. They were showing him on every sports channel, and he had the highest percentage, whatever. Of course.
This is another one of those situations where they turn back into the pumpkin. Is what it. Just don't buy that Williams stock just yet.
Yeah, don't pick him up on fantasy. I saw everybody dropping people and picking him. And I was like, what the hell? So we're gonna finish out with Monday night as a double treat for us. The first game is at 6:15 on ESPN. It's the 0-3 Jets versus the 0-3 Dolphins. I'm going to go real quick on here. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think Tyrod Taylor's still the player. I think Fields is still out with the injury. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Chris?
Man, I don't have much to comment on these guys. So I'm just going to go with my gut on this one. I think the Dolphins are going to pull one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets defense has been kind of disappointing this season so far, and you have Aaron Glenn, who was a defensive mind in Detroit. So not impressed there. Tyrod Taylor was making some plays against the Bucs, but I think Miami's got more explosive players, and I think they'll be able to pull it out. I do want to note, though, Miami's going to be wearing the rivalry jerseys this week, and I think they have a good setup for their uniforms. I really like them. Just wanted to say that.
Anything else on this game?
No.
All right. And the last game and this is also Monday night, 7:15 start on ABC. We've got the 2-1 Bengals traveling over to Denver, 1-2 facing the Broncos. Chris, you want to hit us off?
I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. I'm going to go with the Bengals. Yeah.
Curious as
it's
to
one of those
why.
gut feelings. Man, I haven't really been keeping up too much with the Bengals. Just some of the things that I've seen. I just feel like they're little by little getting better, and I feel like they're just going to keep progressing, keep going up. I think they're going to start firing on all cylinders, and I think every week they're just going to keep getting better. That's just my take on what I'm seeing from them now. I think they're kind of in that preseason level right now, as you said earlier. So I think they're just going to get better as long as they can stay healthy. I think that's where they're going.
Interesting. Good stuff. Abe, are you still as high on the Denver Broncos as you were at the start of this podcast? Because I know you were throwing your hat in there as riding that train for Denver, but Bo Nix hasn't been too impressive this season. What do you?
Yeah,
do you mount that to not playing in the preseason, or what's up?
I think,
or second year slump.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing that happened with Stroud. Remember, his rookie season looked great. Then his sophomore, he just went down in stock. I think this is the same thing that's happening here. I like Bo Nix. I'm not sure. I mean, what's the quarterback's name? Sean Payton. Great coach. I just think they're in a funk right now. I'm sure they'll pick it up. I'm going to pick the Broncos, and I'm going to pick them because of the defense. They still have a really good PS2. He's a shutdown guy. So, my thing is that, and no disrespect to the Bengals with T Higgins and Jamar Chase, it's just who's the quarterback throwing to them, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos too for the same reason. That defense, kind of like the defense is back in this league. We don't really see a lot of high scoring, too many games now.
Right.
And it's good to focus like on defense, and that being like a reason for a factor of winning. You look at Minnesota, how they, that was a big reason they won.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Also, Minnesota has your guy, Brian Flores. So,
yeah.
So, I mean,
coordinators matter, folks. And, Denver's got a really good one, Vic Fangio for Denver. They're going to be able to give Jake Browning fits there for Cincinnati. So, yeah, I got Denver winning here, but this could be another one of those ugly games.
It can.
It's going to have a weird score also, I feel it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for week 4 picks. Great stuff from my boy Chris. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
We also do movies, and as soon as Robert and I can get to where we do like throwbacks, then like to get you on, because I know, Chris, you watch those old school movies and stuff like that. So, maybe get you on in the near future for something like that.
Yeah, man, I'm always ready. Always ready to talk those.
Yeah. But before Robert go ahead and signs you out and all that, I mean, you want to give a shout out? You want to say, your business that you do, what you do?
Yeah, man, I am a professional DJ, 25 years plus experience, cmcentertainmentsa.com. Check us out, cmcentertainmentsa.com. Professional DJ, top notch, quality, keep you on your feet doing the damn thing all night. That's how we do it.
Wait
I appreciate you guys.
Oh my God, the synergy here. Oh my God, wait a minute. My daughter has a quinceañera in February. Do you do quinceañeras?
Man, I can't even count how many I've done.
All right, we're going to talk more. I'm going to talk with you once we get off this podcast. I'm going to get your number.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris,
Absolutely.
Do you want to plug your email, so that way if people want to contact you?
Yeah, it's going to be, it's actually, I'm going to give you the website. It's cmcentertainmentsa.com.
Okay.
cmcentertainmentsa.com. That'll take you straight to it. You got all the info right there. You can hit links, takes you right to the contact, everything.
He's done my parties that I've done, like birthday parties in the past. So I mean, really good stuff. He's done here, DJ at my house, and I've gone to him to actual events, and man, great, badass stuff. So, Chris, thanks for coming on the show, bro. Appreciate it. Much love, man. It's always good talking with you, especially if it's sports and stuff like that, because you keep it 100. And like I said, again, thanks for coming on the show, Robert.
Yeah, Chris, really appreciate your time on here and speaking with us on all these games and all your thoughts. I always enjoy different perspectives. You know, I know you're a Cowboys fan, but you look like a more realistic football fan that just tells it like it is, and I appreciate that. The discussion's always fun.
Yeah.
And you're always welcome on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's always an open invite.
Absolutely, man. Awesome. I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks a lot for giving me some time to, come on here and, rock the mic with you guys. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Definitely looking forward to doing this again. So I'm always up for different topics. Definitely love to do this, a little bit more often with you guys. So just keep me in the loop and I'll be available.
Definitely,
and
man.
We'll talk soon.
Tell Teresa I said, what's up, bro?
All righty. You guys have a good night and man. We will talk to you soon. All righty. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's take one more break. And when we come back, we're going to talk A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. This is the Game Time at the Movies podcast. We'll be right back.
Hi. Are you here by yourself?
I am. What about you?
I am.
It's funny how the most beautiful places make you feel the most alone, you know?
Maybe it just depends on the person you're with.
Remain on interstate for 249 miles. David?
Sorry, are we talking to each other now?
Do you want to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey?
Yes?
Do you remember?
David?
Happy together, don't you?
Pick up Sarah.
I do.
My car won't start.
Mine told me to pick you up.
Your accent, is it real?
You think I fake an accent?
The most beautiful places make you feel the most alone.
Oh, that's a pretty good me, actually. I'm flattered.
I don't wanna go.
In 1.5 miles, take the exit.
What is that? What do you think's behind there?
Dead bodies! Maybe we should go through it.
Everywhere I go leads me back to you.
Oh, wow. Are you going to tell me what's going on?
I don't know, but I think I've been here before.
This is unbelievable.
I think that's the entrance to my high school. No, wait.
What?
You know, high school.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Said forever and I almost bought it.
David, you're late. Come on. How old am I? 15. I'm 15.
Cool. How old am I?
I don't know, 40?
I'm going to kill you.
I tell her I love her. She says I don't love you.
Oh, feels exactly like it felt that night.
This one's for me.
Mom?
I miss you. This isn't real.
Well, it feels real to me.
So what is it that you want, David?
I want to go back to when I thought everything would work out for me.
Nice to share this with someone. But however this plays out, it ends in me hurting you.
And what if I hurt you?
You are capable of being happy. You just have to choose it.
No matter who you are in your life, we just need someone to share it with.
Everywhere I go leads me back to you.
You know how to fix totaled cars?
I do not.
How about burning cars?
No. That's very dramatic.
It's a bit over the top.
All right, welcome back to the show, folks, and it's time now for our movie of the week here at Game Time at the Movies. We checked out this week on a discount Tuesday, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, a romance, drama, fantasy. We wanted to change it up a bit because we easily could have gone with another horror-type film, which I think we were going to go check out. Him, which we could probably hear about later on from Jaco, who will eventually make an appearance on this podcast. But yeah, I I want this to be a podcast where we can appeal to different demos. My mom is a big listener of ours, and she's female, and she's like, why don't you guys talk about like rom-coms and stuff like that? So, I want to change it up. I love those films, but again, I want this podcast to be accessible to all demos. And I know women like sports too and stuff, but we can get into these different types of movies.
Definitely.
So first, what were your overall thoughts on the movie? We can deep dive into a lot of the stuff, but overall.
I thought this movie was great, and I'm not big on rom-coms, I'll watch them, but this one was just, Colin Farrell and oh man, Margot Robbie, great choice of actors and actresses or actress to go with this one. It told you, it was basically about like their choices in life.
Right.
Man, like if it doesn't open up your eyes, then you guys got to watch this. I thought, it was such a great movie, Robert. Like I would watch this again and again.
Yeah. The way I determine like how, if a movie's like really good for me is if I'm thinking about it afterwards.
Right.
And I was doing a lot of inward thinking like on my life. This movie doesn't break the mold necessarily. Like we've seen movies of like, opposites attract or two people trying to get together. This isn't a linear type story. It's told through like fantasy and, basically what the story is. It's, obviously, about Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, who play the characters of Sarah and David, and they end up in a blind date at a wedding, based through a car rental agency, which is a de facto like fantasy like matchmaking service. Abe mentioned rom-com, but I wouldn't go that far. But there's a lot of comedic elements in this movie, especially early on in that scene, because in the agency it's played by two well-known actors. It's Kevin Kline and then Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Fleabag. So that potty mouth humor is in that movie. So there's a lot of laughs in it. But the movie is very dramatic. There's a lot of like tortured stuff that these characters are dealing with. A lot of parental stuff that they're dealing with.
Yes.
So yeah, it is based on choices and who you were in the past and what you want to be in the future. And these characters are just navigating that. One of the gadgets in this movie is that they have a GPS given to them because they're driving freaking 1994 Saturns, like just cars that are not of this updated world, but they have a futuristic type GPS to navigate them, which is the gimmick of the movie. So, which is why they're able to navigate through these different doors that they go through to visit their past and stuff.
And it was funny on the Saturn part because they're like, okay, we have this 1984 Saturn, and Colin Farrell's like, what? That's what you have.
You know, anything
else? Yeah,
you're like that. This is fucking it. This, as Abe mentioned, movies like this could sidetrack and they could fail really quickly if you don't have the right actors in place. I think Margot and Colin had great chemistry.
Oh, really?
Their meetup point other than the wedding is at a Burger King, which like open, that's music to my ears. And, you see Margot Robbie chewing on a cheeseburger. It's like, dude, and this woman's made for me. Like,
but the fact that she eats that, she goes, I have it like every day, like every day. And I was like, where have you been?
Where are you?
Yes. Like, where are you at? Like in here. Robert, I feel like I can, see myself as a Colin Farrell type in that movie. Yourself? I mean, with me, well, because you remember how she, I don't want to say too much, but in the cafe part where she said, that won't, everyone has to be perfect. And if not, then you just, they talk about like, oh, you're going to hurt me. And it's like, but he's going to hurt because she may not be, or she wasn't good enough.
Right.
So can you relate to like Colin maybe?
To his character?
Yeah, to the character because of him wanting someone perfect. Listen.
Yeah, I was thinking about that honestly because, we're both single guys.
Yes.
Or, I think about, how much I want to be like in a relationship or something like that. But then when you get into one, you always have, I get into this and I'm sure a lot of people get into this mindset that there's always in the back of your mind, like maybe there's somebody better out there and, you don't want to settle or anything like that. And it's easy for me to say that, but I've been single for so long, so I don't know what that feels like. But and I don't want to say that I'm going to settle if I ever get into a relationship again. But there is that in the back of your mind, kind of like that arrogance, like this is not going to do it for me, and then you'll just end up hurting the person. But yeah, there was a little bit of that stuff I could relate to, but Not too much because this stuff is kind of dark.
Yes. It was, so I'm like, maybe somewhat, but to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I definitely, I mean, there were some sad parts on there with Margot Robbie, with the mom. And like I said, I don't want to go into too much so that way folks out there can actually watch this, but it's just, you don't want to take things for granted. Yeah. So.
Yeah, a lot of good dramatic scenes even towards that third act with Margot Robbie and her mom's character. Really good scenes there.
Yes.
Really good musical sequence in the middle of it, where they go back to Colin Farrell's character's high school days.
High school.
And he has this moment where, cause he's playing like everyone's looking at him like he's the kid version, but it's obviously Colin Farrell form. That's the way we see him. And he's in this play and he has an interaction with the characters like, oh my God, I feel like Jason Bourne, where he doesn't remember he's an assassin killer, but then he ends up being able to do all the things. And he mentions that and the kid's like, what the hell is Jason Bourne? He's like, oh, just take a look. And then he goes into full, like, it almost turns into like a full on musical for like about 5-6 minutes in that movie. And it's pretty good. Margot Robbie gets involved in that as well. Gosh, she's so electric. I mean, she's like obviously the perfect ideal woman in the way they present her character for me. I mean, she's got a lot of dark stuff and probably toxic things that you wouldn't want to get involved with, but she loves cheeseburgers. She's got bangs. I'm a sucker for a girl with good bangs, and she has that in this movie. So right immediately I was gaga over her, but this is her first movie since Barbie.
Yes.
So it's a good choice. I want to see her doing different things. And she looks like she's going to be doing that. But again, going back to like the whole, you have to have the right movie stars to carry a movie like this, because it could be easily boring, because the movie is really a slow burn and it's really character driven. So, and there's a lot of quiet moments. I had stomach issues last night, so I'm like, oh, it's so quiet in here. People are going to hear my stomach growl or whatever. But there was a lot of moments where characters are thinking or just staring.
Yeah.
And a lot of self-reflection. So, I really enjoyed this movie. It's a solid 3 out of 4 for me. I know the Letterboxd does the 5 stars, but I always rate my movies out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Really solid 3, and I would like to revisit it. I'm not sure if I want to buy it yet to own, but maybe after another watch, I'll be convinced of it. But really good performances here. There's not a lot of other actors in the movie because it really is a 2-person journey. No pun intended, but it really is a self-reflection on both of these characters, and there's a kind of a little twist at the end that it maybe wasn't supposed to be Margot that meets up with Colin, but it ends up happening. And I guess you can talk about fate or whatever, but it just goes to show that sometimes you got to just go with the hand that's dealt with you in life, and then you can just make a life out of that. And also learn that, there's a good line that the mom says, like, chasing happiness is going to make you go crazy. Sometimes it's good. Find happiness in the content with the stuff that you have in your life. And I'm like, that's a good way to look at it,
Right.
Because if you're always chasing like, well, when am I going to be happy in life? When am I going to be happy in life? Life is going to have its ups and downs, and you're not, and if you're always thinking like there's just going to be an end game for like, this will be it, and I'm going to be happy forever. That's not how life works.
Yeah.
So there was a good message in there about that.
And to bounce off of what you said, where it was like the 2 actor kind of throughout the whole movie, I think that's great, because it just kind of focused on their journey together from the past and from the decisions that they've made or that they chose. I thought it was great. Really good movie. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't hear your stomach stuff because I was too busy crunching on my M&Ms and my popcorn.
Good. I do want to mention, though, that I was depressed after I got out of it, because at the end of the day, it's 2 hot people that end up together.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I go home to just myself, and it's like, when am I going to get that for myself? So that's the only reason. I love these movies, and I hate these movies for that exact same reason. Like, I'm hopeful that one day I'll get to, meet my other half and share a life. But then on the other hand, you're watching this as a single person, and you're like, God bless.
Yeah. On that note,
but it does have like those typical tropes in romance movies, including like the end. They have like good needle drops, Let My Love Open the Door, a classic song that's been done over and over and stuff like that. So, I mean, just a lot of fun. I like the direction. The visuals were good. I thought the dialogue between everybody was good. So the script was fine. It bombed at the box office. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But it really sucks that people didn't go check out, because this is what I want, is original movies like this to be seen. I don't want this is made by Sony, and they're seeing that this bombs, they're gonna be like, okay, greenlit 5 more Spider-Man movies, and that's the complete opposite. I want diverse movies out there for every genre.
Right.
But highly recommend it. I don't know how much longer it's going to be in your theaters because it bombed.
Yeah.
Or maybe you might wait until Netflix, which is where this will end up on, because Sony does have that deal with Netflix for their movies. But I recommend on the big screen. Movie stars being movie stars on the big screen.
I would watch it. I'd watch it on the big screen. Yeah, and it might be one of those like one showing a day or something like that.
Yeah, real quickly. It's going to lose shows.
And it'll be like a 4:00 when everybody's at work or school or whatever. But anyway, I thought it was a great movie.
I want to create a thing for us on this show. Like, we're combining sports and movies. Like, is this movie we can change the dialogue on this, but is this a movie you would put on the starting lineup or put it on the bench? I want to create like a little gimmick that we can do. Do you want to do something like that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to?
To go off of that, I say that this would be like your sixth man. If we're going to talk, if we did like
this
NBA,
is someone that you pick up off the bench.
This is something that can come off the bench and score a little couple of points and get you that ump. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'd be good with that. Something different.
Yeah.
Always different on the game time, folks.
Good movie.
Good, really good movie. And like I said, coming from me, I watched like the comic books and the action movies, comedy and stuff, but to watch something, and I'm the one that told you I wanted to watch this. I saw the preview. So, spanning my horizon, ladies and gentlemen, really good movie. So I recommend you guys go out there and watch it while you still can.
Yeah.
You have anything else on this?
We did see a couple of trailers, we don't have to go in detail, but there's a movie with Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen called Eternity.
Yes.
That we might want to check out. For me, I want to see Roofman. That's coming out the same week, and we're going to check out Tron, but that's starring Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, kind of like a dark comedy drama kind of film. This is the fall season, so you're going to get a bunch of movies like that. Hopefully I'll get a chance to see it. As I mentioned, we're checking out Tron Ares that weekend. Again, we're going to mix it up on this show and do a lot of different movies. Horror coming up in October, so we're going to do a lot of that. But yeah, as far as like the trailers that we saw during that movie, a lot of good stuff, a lot of originals.
Another one that I saw, and I know you said that you're probably maybe you'll change your mind, but the one where the mom and the brother-in-law passed away. They got into a car accident.
Oh, Regretting You?
Yeah, Regretting You. And I said I was in. Hopefully, so that way we can just add that.
We'll check it on the calendar if it matches up. I mean, I'm not all for it, but I'm open to it.
I want to
I'm not psyched for it. I guess the better word.
Just like how Robert mentioned, we have different stuff coming up. We also have the 12 days of Halloween.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch 12 movies within a span. And then we'll get more details as we're
figuring it out.
As we have more details. But real quick on the box office for the weekend of September 19th through the 21st. At number 6 is A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey at 3.3 million.
Man, it didn't even make the top 5. That is a bad beat.
Yeah.
Really good film, folks. I mean, is this a good date night movie? Well, I don't know. Depending on who your partner is, I don't know. You might start questioning some stuff. But, it was a nice one for us single people, just to kind of like look inward, but could be also a fun date movie.
I think so.
Because the romance is there in the movie.
Yes.
So,
at number 5, it's The Long Walk at 6.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is Downton Abbey, the grand finale at 6.4 million.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 goes with The Conjuring, Last Rites at 12.3 million.
That one worldwide is almost close to $500 million, which is insane.
That's crazy. And it wasn't that bad of a movie.
Yeah, it was fine.
At number 2 is Him at 3.3 million.
That's all it made?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 13.3 million.
I was like, wait.
Hold on. 13.3 million.
Okay,
sorry.
That's not bad. Jake will be like, yeah, win. Whatever.
And at number 1 is still The Demon Slayer, the Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Infinity Castle at 17.3 million.
Is this a generational thing? I just don't get it with anime movies, but I know they're popular.
This is huge.
Is it? Like, am I too old? Is that what it is?
Well, I mean, I'm old, but I do know some about Demon Slayer. I mean, it's a big anime show. That and
but are you into it though?
I was, and then I got out of it, but
okay.
It's something that you can get into. I would say.
I don't know. I might be too old. This might be a thing where
I think I asked you this, but your daughters, they aren't into like anime. Like I know mine is with K-pop, and I took her to that.
No, they're actually into more of like like the oldest is watching like Dexter. Like,
oh, okay.
So, you know, they get into a lot of the older stuff.
Real quick, and I don't want to get off topic, but real quick, the daughter, the dark haired one, what's her name? The one that's
they both have dark hair.
Oh, I thought one of them had blonde hair.
She did at one point. If you're talking about the old, that's Lily.
Lily, your daughter. Yeah. I kind of see her more like your stuff, like what you watch. Like she kind of,
yeah,
right?
I mean, we're more aligned like musically in terms of like different styles and genres.
Right.
The little one, Bella, is probably more like me in terms of movies where she's more open to like different things. And, you know, she's kind of like me, like a little critic. We'll be watching stuff. She'll be like, oh, that didn't make sense or whatever. So she's probably more aligned with me on that side of things, but it balances out, you know, music with Lily and then movies with Bella.
And it's just so different because like they're not like you know, with Juliet, it's not like, oh, Barbies and this and that. Yeah. No, like her, it's anime and it's all that other stuff. Yeah. So I mean,
I don't think they've. I mean, I have to ask them more about it because, you know, I do like to see what the kids are into just to see like from a pop culture standpoint, like what's standing out. So, you know, I know K-pop Demon Hunters was a thing, but I don't know if they watched it. I have to ask them about it. But I know that was a big sensation earlier this year on Netflix, and it even made a lot of the theaters.
I just think that it's great that, you know, like this generation, you can get them to watch like maybe something like from the back years.
Right, but you want them to have like their stuff too.
Yes, exactly.
Which we can, I mean, I don't know. That's a movie I'm probably going to check out with them, but Five Nights at Freddy's is theirs. That's their thing. Like that's this generation.
That's the same.
So, yeah.
All right, good stuff. So that's going to do it for the box office.
Last thing before we sign off, we did want to talk about a trailer that dropped this week, folks. It dropped Monday, of all things. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, Disney. Maybe that's why they dropped it. But a trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu, Greystar Presents. This is a Disney Plus show that has, I believe, 3 seasons. I think I've only seen two of them.
Yeah.
But they're going to go full big screen. Jon Favreau director of Iron Man. I don't know. What do you think of this, Abe?
I kind of got season 1 vibes looking at this trailer. And I like it because when season 1 dropped, I was hooked. I was watching it and I was like, damn, when is the next episode dropping? And so I kind of got that with this movie, with this trailer. So I'm in. I want to watch it.
I'm in if there's not a caveat of like, I want to know what this is. Is this to get people to watch whenever they eventually do another season? Or is this going to be a standalone solo adventure? Because if it's just a solo adventure,
then
or it's just a one-off,
right,
then I'm all in. Like I'm going to see it, I think, regardless. But if this ends up being something where it's like, we just want to get you all back to Disney Plus, then I'm going to be out on it completely. And we'll know about that once we get closer to the movie, because, you know, people are going to see it early and they'll be like, oh, it ends on a cliffhanger or whatever.
Right.
It's like, that's going to suck. Because if it's a straight up adventure solo movie, just
them.
That'll work for me, because I did enjoy a lot of the early Mandalorian. Yes. Later became I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But the first season for sure was like really good.
So. That will be IMAX, and I know you said no, but I'll get them.
Okay,
I'll get them. Because that's the only way it'll come out on watching that movie as well.
No, I would watch it, but just not in that format.
We'll watch it.
IMAX is a high price ticket, buddy.
We'll watch it. Okay. Yeah, plenty of door dashing to do. 2026 is still a ways away.
Okay.
Real quick, this Thursday we're watching.
Yes, we got a preview.
Yes.
So we're recording this on a Wednesday night because we usually record Thursdays, or that's usually how it's worked out. But we're going to be checking out Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro. One of the most anticipated movies for me this year. It's getting a lot of buzz. It's going to be in the awards conversation, folks. I think it's safe to say a lot of people are saying it now, so we can probably guarantee that this movie is going to be around when we start talking Oscars. I'm really looking forward to it. I was quick to buy the IMAX tickets for you, me, and Jake. I did not hesitate. I want to be there day one. We'd mentioned on this podcast there are going to be certain movies where we will be there day one and not wait until a discount day, because this is one of those.
Right. Yeah, super excited. Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio, and Sean Penn. I'm super excited.
I would have loved, if we had started this podcast like maybe earlier, I would have loved to have given you a homework assignment of watching some former PTA movies. He's done Boogie Nights, The Master, Inherent Vice. I'm going to check out one later tonight. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Licorice Pizza. That was his last film. He's just done incredible stuff. I only own one of his movies, and it's probably my favorite of his. It's called Magnolia. Tom Cruise is in it. It's a big star-studded cast, and it's really different than what you usually see, and that's what I'm looking forward to. His movies are usually different, so get ready for that. Although this one will probably be his most mainstream because Leonardo DiCaprio's one of our last best movie stars. But I'm hearing it's funny. I'm hearing there's a lot of action in it, which he's not really known for. So I'm looking forward to seeing what his style is. I really wanted to see this in 70 millimeter IMAX, but I think for us here in Texas, it would have been in Dallas, and I think it's sold out over there. So in that format, it's going to be really hard to see. But we're still going to see it in IMAX, but it's not going to be in the original format that the way the director intended it. But still, super fucking pumped for this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you'll get our review of that next week, but we're going to be checking it out tomorrow. So, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
All
right, buddy.
Are we done?
We're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us on today's episode 6 already. I'm having such a blast doing this, and I'm glad that Abe brought on a guest already. I'm always pumped to have guests. Special thanks again to Chris Cardona for joining and talking football with us. We'll have our regulars at some point, Brandon McLaughlin, who helped us test out this format with having Chris calling in. So it's technology, man. It's
Folks,
great.
It's great seeing my boy Palace. I mean, he and I, we have our differences, but still we're adults here. In the end of the day, we're partners. And the fact to see him happy that we can call in people and all that stuff, I mean, it's great. So I'm just having a blast doing this.
Yeah,
we're just chopping it up, but yeah,
it's just talking about the stuff we love, and with the people that we care about, with friends. That's the best thing you can ask for.
Yep.
So yeah, you can follow us on our socials, at Instagram, at Game Time Movies Podcast, or Game Time at the Movies, on X, at Off the Top Rope 39. I did a live tweet of WrestlePalooza on Saturday night. I'll try to do some more live tweeting, maybe for one of the football games this weekend. Perhaps Cowboys Packers. I'll be live tweeting that. Okay. You can follow us on the X account there. I'm still trying to figure out the Facebook thing. I may just create a whole new page. Then I have so many freaking pages that I've created aside from my regular profile, but so be it. That means I got to delete the old 2 Minute Drive podcast page, and so be it. But again, Game Time at the Movies, folks, is where you can find all of this stuff. You can just search it by name, you'll find it.
Right.
And we're available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, pretty much anywhere where you get your podcast. It's on there. You can find it on YouTube. I know we're not in video format. Maybe one day, if we figure it out, but for sure you can still hear the audio version on YouTube.
And we don't have an email, but that's okay. You can DM.
Yeah, just DM the socials.
The socials.
That's usually how it's better to do that.
It's better to do that.
This is an open forum, folks, so we don't shy away from anybody. We're not scared of anybody. So.
And also, Robert, they can call in.
Yeah.
They can call in now to the show. We don't need to have anybody on there like Zoom or whatever for the longest time. Just come in. You want to give a chime in on a topic that we're talking about. You want to go against the guru. You want to go against me.
You want to talk movies. You want to talk TV. You want to talk anything that's going on in pop culture. We're ready to tackle.
Yep.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's episode. And buddy, good job by you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and an extra applause for Chris Cardona.
Yeah, my boy, man.
Yeah. All right, good job by everybody. We'll talk to you next week. One battle after another. Fucking excited. Let's go.
Pumped.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Good night, everyone.